Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuff and things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
Up to center. Franklin playing shallow now, going back, still going. Can't make the play. It's off the wall and it bounces away. Lee will score. Stopping at third base, Caratini. Allen wrote it. Puts the Twins on top 5-4 here in the third.
Nothing. But you want to show more? You want to show more of it? More of a bloodbath.
I had all the runs.
Thanks, buddy.
I had all the runs ready.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Courtesy of Twins.tv. Yeah, the Orioles take a 4-1 lead. The vibes were high here in the studio yesterday. Griffin was like, here you are doubting Dylan Beavers.
And Carlos Narvaez, and actually he grounded into a double play.
The moral of the story is
Adley.
the Orioles took a 4-1 lead. We're thinking to ourselves, wow, Shane Baz is on the mound.
He got ace
great.
on the mound.
Funny thing about that is he decided to give 4 of them right back.
I think he just wants to be a martyr. And he
Yeah, right. My kingdom for a shutdown inning. It does make it feel worse that like they took the 4-1 lead only to immediately vomit it right back up as the Orioles go on to lose the series in Minneapolis. But yet still somehow, as Griffin and I were joking about before the show, we were like, how do they keep losing and still only end up 2 games out of a playoff spot? How is this possible? Like, it feels like they've lost 4 of their last 6. It feels like somehow they would have had to have backed up a little bit. And I know that part of it is because everybody's bad. Everybody's bad. But still, it's insane. All right, we got a lot to do on the program today. But before we do much of that, our friend Dave Ricklin was just wandering through. First of all, he brought me a gift. He said, Griffin, you lost the argument the other day, so you get nothing.
It's because he didn't understand.
He brought me a gift, and whenever you bring me a gift, I'm going to be eternally grateful, and I'm going to say thank you, sir. Thank you, Dave. But our buddy Dave Ricklin, who we saw on opening day, he's been in radio, he's done the game show thing, he's done all this. We've known Dave for a long time. But I know that you we got a lot of attention for this silly fight that Griffin and I had the other day, which, again, was never that deep. It really wasn't, other than Griffin is an ignorant slut. Like,
no.
That's the only part of it that was actually deep. But I've gotten so much feedback and so much response from this silly argument that we had the other day about the play from the Red Sox Blue Jays game, which to me, while it was adjudicated appropriately based on the rules of the game are flawed.
So I just remembered there was another angle. So the umpires did screw up badly.
Oh, did they?
And so the Blue Jays should have had reason to like kind of flip out.
I'm not aware of
So
this.
the home plate umpire waved off the run at first.
Oh, so
yeah, he pointed to the plate
that.
and said no run. Yeah.
I would think
so.
that,
It looked like the Blue Jays weren't really reacting anyway.
Yeah,
to be fair, but if anyone did see and was like, oh, the run didn't score.
He said I would have stayed out there. If,
right.
if
so
I
they
knew
had
it,
legitimate.
When you said, now that you put it that
so
way,
they had to review it, and we're like, all right, we think it's a timing play. We're gonna review it. They were like, review it. We think it's a timing play. We're gonna review again.
Wow.
And then they were like, the run actually should have scored because. Yeah.
Anyway, the point that I made was about
it was
the
a
rule,
mess.
which is the rule is effing insane. And it was hilarious because I heard from some umpire friends in my life who were like, nah, but that we all know that's the rule. And I'm like, wait, you're not actually defending the rule. You're just saying the rule exists. Now defend it. defend why the rule exists. And the best I can get back is, well, but everybody knows. I'm like, right, so you can't defend
No,
it.
because it's baseball.
Right, because
Susan.
baseball. That's the best argument that I come up with. I had someone in baseball who reached out to me this week and said, your silly video came across my feed. And I said,
Silly.
you're welcome. What you mean to say is thank you for the entertainment. I appreciate when I'm doom scrolling through TikTok or Reels or whatever it is that you're scrolling through, that you have something to entertain you while you're taking a poop. Whatever it is, you can thank me for my service. But he says, a significant person in baseball is all I can say. This person says, your silly video came across my feed. I want you to think about how truly insane this rule is.
John Schneider said this.
Yes, John Schneider said, who was the runner on third base again?
Siegler.
You weren't so
Siegler.
excited about Siegler. You're more of a Sogard.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure Sogard was on first. I can't really comprehend.
Yeah, that was the part.
He's the one that really screwed up.
Yeah, right. So Siegler, if he had done the thing he was supposed to do and gone back and tagged, they would have gotten the out at first before he crossed.
I don't know.
the
I mean,
plate.
if he was actually running, if he knew there was...
No, because the throw into first base was very quick.
It was still a little lackadaisical because they were like, what's going on? Because half the Blue
everybody
Jays
thought they were
Blue
two
Jays were walking off the field. The
Yes, but
runners
he also,
were just
in
jogging.
this scenario, if he had recognized, I needed a tag, and gone back and attempted to tag.
Well, I'm saying he's waiting on third.
Right, you're creating another new hypothetical scenario. We're just creating 5 more hypothetical scenarios. But in this scenario where he knows he needs to go back and tag, he doesn't get home before the out is recorded at first base, and everyone knows his run doesn't count. So if he had done the thing he was supposed to do, then everyone would know that's not a run. The only way that it can become a run is if he doesn't do the thing that you're supposed to do. It's literally theater of the absurd. It's the baseball rule says if you do the thing that you have to do, you're going to be out. If you don't do it, then we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. That's how absurd this bizarre rule is. So, the point that I had for Dave Ricklin is I want to know who won the argument. I want to know who won the fight. Now, you also know that you're already in my good graces because you brought me a yogurt, so you don't have to worry about whether or not That's true, thank you. You don't have to worry about whether or not I'm mad at your decision because, you're already in my good graces here.
Right.
So I want to know, as someone who consumed the entire, God bless you,
no pressure,
for consuming the entire content,
right,
who won the fight?
Well, first I'm going to say what I put on Facebook.
Do we need a day to get closer to the microphone?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. First I'm going to say what I said on Facebook.
Yes.
Which was that you won because you cheated. But
That's
that was just an illusion.
Yeah, that was a good bit. That was a good bit.
alluding.
Yeah, good bit.
But no, there are so many nuances to this. I respect you both.
No, you don't have to say that.
Well,
you don't have to respect.
this is
You
all
don't have to
going
say.
on
You don't have
record.
to say it to Glenn.
Yeah.
I'm not under oath, but I'm on the record. But no, I mean, I completely saw your point. It's in the rule book, and Siegler seemed to know that. That's what you said, Siegler.
Well, yeah. Apparently,
Max Scherzer was involved with this as well,
Right.
or at least his team was back in like 2009.
Yeah. Apparently,
and-
he was aware of this silly nuance part of this rule that allows for that run to have scored, and that's why he was kind of telling everybody, get off.
Yes.
Let's all get off the field.
Right.
Because if we get off the field, then they might just have no choice but to let my run score. But if we stay on the field, or he was trying to get his guys to go back out onto the field to get the Blue Jays off of the field.
Now, did the third base coach seeing the scoreboard say 2 outs, say just go? Do you know that part of it?
I don't know that part of it.
Well,
Yeah, but you're trying to adjudicate the rule again. I just want to know
know.
who won the argument. That's what I want to know. Who won the argument?
I want to be invited back.
It sounds like you're trying to be Switzerland here. It sounds like you're
I'm a little Switzerlandy.
sounds like you. Yeah, sounds like you get it. That it's baseball.
Let me say
and-
this: 45 minutes gives a chance for both of you to make good points.
Right. I said the players could play naked. I mean, like, for example.
That wasn't my favorite point, but
Well,
yes,
I don't
a
understand.
point nonetheless.
Griffin, when he made that video, we looked up the definition of the word cheating. Like,
Right.
somehow this devolved into looking up the definition of the word, which I was right about.
I mean,
I was right about. Anyway,
were
come on. Declare. You have to declare a winner, Dave.
You just said that. Yeah, it means
Dave, you have to declare a winner.
cheating is intent to deceit.
Declare a
like,
winner.
Griffin controls my mic.
Yeah, exactly.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's right.
I-
That's right. And I control your mic too, Glenn.
That's a good point.
I'm still his boss. I control your employment. Let's
Wow.
not forget that.
So I'm just supposed to say, yeah, change all the rules.
Let's
I
make
don't think-
John the tiebreaker.
No,
I don't know. I feel
no.
pressure.
I think they should have to tackle the runner now.
You have to declare a winner. And it's the most important thing you're going to do this week.
Oh, for God's sakes. I'll go Glenn.
Oh, come on.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell
come on.
yeah.
All right, Dave. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for. I muted your mic, Dave. No one can hear you. No one can hear you.
They can see me. That's the part that matters. They can see me.
This is ridiculous.
I humbly accept this honor. Thanks, Dave. It's great. to
Why?
see you.
Why is why did Glenn win?
Thanks for
Why is
stopping
Glenn right?
by.
Why is Glenn
'Cause
right?
I'm right.
About what?
The
What
rule
part?
is dumb. All right, we're moving on. I just need.
Is it?
Just
I think
needed
it's
that.
part. I think it's
It's a dumb rule.
it's a psychological play.
Yeah, it's a psychological play. What they should do is they should recreate the scene from A Princess Bride when you have to figure out who's got the poison. Yeah, you know, get into a land war with so what was the line? Land war with someone in China. What the hell was the line?
It's the one line I don't know from that
It's
movie.
a line from A Princess Bride about the land war in China. I think that's what they should do to determine these situations. You should pour poison into a chalice, and then secretly someone's already created the antidote for the poison. And he actually poured it into both cups. Huh? Did you think about that? Huh? That's the type of psychological game you want to play, Griffin?
Prepare to die.
No. Never go in against a Sicilian.
That's what was it?
Never go in against a Sicilian. When
there was
when
a
death
line
is
about
on the
a land
line.
war in China.
Oh.
That's
Never
the line.
never get involved in a land war in Asia.
In Asia.
Yeah.
It was close. I was in the neighborhood. That's the great. I believe. The actor is that
Battle
Wallace
of
Shawn?
Wallace Shawn.
The great Wallace Shawn.
Inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Love that.
He's the best.
God bless you. Oh, we miss Rob Reiner so much.
Ugh.
Dave, thank you. I appreciate you stopping by. Everything good in your world?
You're thanking me a lot more now.
All right. So if you had
Griffin,
said
I'm
the other
sorry.
thing, I wouldn't.
I don't
thank
know,
you
Dave.
at all.
I don't know.
I got to thank you twice.
I'm
You
hoping I
brought
might
me
never see you
brought
again.
me
I
a
don't know.
yogurt parfait and declared me the winner.
It was my pleasure. Only $3.49 plus tax. What can I
Thank
mean,
you.
it was
Thank you.
easy.
Thank you, buddy.
Giant. I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
plugging.
right.
Giant,
Like, do they
but-
pay you? They have a great deal with Giant.
No, Baltimore's Classic 5. Still a great place to go.
We do enjoy the Classic
Yes,
5.
we're a proud sponsor.
We do love the. I'm not very good. I'm not good at all. In fact.
Stop right there.
Yeah, we could just say that in general. But
I didn't say I play. I mean, I drive a mean golf cart, and
that is good.
I
That is
can
a good thing to
pull
say.
out the club.
No, Pine Ridge is on my way home, and so the last time I played, it was over at Pine Ridge. Actually, once upon a time, we hosted hosted an event with Drew at Pine Ridge, and famously, he did a bit. I don't remember which hole it was, but the bit was you can have your tee shot, or you can let Glenn attempt to hit a tee shot. Now he gave them the option after they hit their tee shot. Like
Okay.
every group that came through, he was like, "All right, you see where your tee shot went." Now you got an option here. You can keep that, or you can let Glenn hit the tee shot. And nobody knew how bad I was at golf.
Right.
And so, like, a couple teams came through and they were like, "Oh, well, yeah, we'll let him hit the tee shot." Like, I guess they thought I was a ringer or something.
Right.
It was,
So it's best ball.
oh, it was so pathetic. It was one of the most embarrassing things, except for completely. It was a par 3. I do remember that. I literally skipped one off the water to within like 6 feet of the pin.
Wow.
And like
Look at
I'll
this
never
guy.
in my life be able to. It looked like something from that Masters par 3 contest.
PGA, the G stands for Glenn. That's-
Exactly right. They legitimately at one point like just skipped it right off. There was I don't know which hole it is. You're the Classic 5 guy, Pine Ridge, but like skipped it right off the water and
Mhm.
right onto the green, and I was like, "Holy crap!
Well done.
I can't believe I did that."
Can I share a quick driving range?
As long as
story
it's
with
quick.
you? It's
We
quick.
gotta talk Orioles. I don't want to.
I know. So years ago, there's a place near Columbia called Rocky Gorge.
Yes.
Driving range, famous. My first time going to the driving range with my dad. Really excited about it. hit some decent balls for a first timer. But you know how there are those metal gates sometimes in between each bay that just kind of separate you, just separators, dividers. I literally hit one off of that metal divider. Foul ball, bounced back to the guy in the bay next to me, hit him in the eye.
Oh, God.
Hit him in the eye.
God.
So God bless my dad. So the guy's like saying, kid, you're killing me.
Yeah.
And my dad came to my defense and said he didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No way my son hit a foul ball.
Couldn't have possibly done that.
I said, Dad, I did it.
God. Oh,
Yeah.
was he okay?
We lost touch.
Jesus. Jesus. The guy's listening right now is about to sue you. That
Yeah.
guy is about to put in a law.
I revealed too much.
Statute of limitations does not run up. Thank you, sir. Great to see you. Appreciate you,
fun.
buddy. Dave
Griffin, I'm sorry.
By the studio. Oh, he's not going to shake your hand? Not even going to give you a GG? Jeez.
I didn't deserve it.
That's tough, man.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right. Coming up later on in the program, Anthony Eyanson's going to join us, of course, acquired from the Red Sox in the Adley Rutschman trade last week. Made his debut with the Chesapeake Baysox over the weekend. And we're going to preview the WLL Championship game, the first ever WLL Championship game, as the Maryland Charm take on the California Palms this weekend in Philly. So a chance for you to make the short trip up and support the Charm this weekend, as Grace Griffin is going to check in with us a little bit later on the program as well. I really don't. It's funny, I said we got to talk Orioles, but I don't know what more there is to say about what occurred. It is particularly bitter what happened yesterday because you just needed one shutdown inning. Just give me one shutdown inning.
And Rico Garcia hadn't pitched since Monday. I mean,
it's hard to put that on.
I guess, but like instead of Geraldo, go to Rico in that spot,
Yeah, but
and keep it 5-4. Or if Boz was going to be done after 3 innings anyway,
bring Rico Garcia.
Bring Rico in.
With
bases loaded, I still feel pretty good.
That's a fair point. You're not wrong about that.
I don't want him pitching the 8th with Josh Bell due up, but
yeah,
with nobody on. But
yeah, you're not. I mean, but that's. I'm less.
If they knew Boz was done after 3, then why not bring Rico in the 3rd with the bases loaded, nobody
and more
out?
About we keep saying, just give Shane Boz some run support.
Yeah,
you get him some run support, and then
right. I mean, yeah,
it's the immediacy of it, right? It's all you're asking for is one shutdown inning. Build the slightest amount of confidence. Or maybe just give up one. Maybe not even a shutdown inning. Just give up one. Walk out with a 4-2 lead. That uniquely makes yesterday's game more deflating than most games are because you were spotted a 4-1 advantage and you felt like you had the momentum and you were going to go win the series. Which wasn't going to make you feel great because you were still going to be going to Tampa for 4, but at least it would give you something, some sort of life, some sort of, winning a series against a team you're competing against for a playoff spot, something that makes you feel a feeling. I'm not trying to oversell that and suggest that, I would have woken up and said, this team's going to the playoffs. An interesting message I got. It's funny because earlier in the week we were talking about the David Rubenstein thing from last week. I got a message from, and I think it was Rick, not Rick from Reisterstown. Well, I do hear from time to time. Love you, Rick. But I got a message from another Rick who said, do you think that Albernaz is at as much risk as Elias is at this point? And it was an interesting thought because I don't know how much we uniquely blame this on Craig Albernaz. And certainly nothing about, Griffin's mad that it was Geraldo and not Garcia, but I don't uniquely blame yesterday on Albernaz.
Sure. I mean, yeah. I mean, their bullpen sucks. Like, that's the other part of it. Like, every single guy that pitched yesterday has a 5.5 ERA. Like,
it's the reality. And it's why, it's why the initial reaction to the Tyler Wells deal was, what in the ever-loving F are you doing? By the way, they add Jorge Mateo to the Rays. So now this weekend, we're going to see everybody. Everybody. All of them are going to be down there. That'll be fun. I don't remember who it was, but one of the beat writers yesterday looked.
His head's gonna have like a 2-home-run game.
The Rays have more 2023 Orioles than the Orioles do.
Is that accurate, or is that just someone?
No. I like check. I wish I could remember which one of them it was.
Well, I mean, we can look at the roster.
It was
now.
one of the
Bradish. Should we just go player by player? Cano.
Yeah.
Was Albert Suarez on that team, or he was 24?
I think he was 24.
All right,
You
we'll
can
say
double
not
check
Big
that.
Al. Kowser was 24, right? Yeah, Kowser didn't play in 23. So okay, you know what? Maybe it's right. Maybe it's right. Gunner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 3. Okay, you know what? I guess it's right.
I wish I could remember who it was.
I mean, does Mountcastle count? Does Westbury count?
No, they're not on the team. Is right now going into this weekend. Which of the two teams playing this weekend will have more 2023 Orioles on it?
Yeah,
that was
definitely the race. Definitely the race.
Wild, right? Wild.
Probably more coaching staff. Yeah, more coaching staff too.
Yeah, if you include Brandon Hyde, that's a great point. They definitely do, but which doesn't, of course. That's complicated, and it's not like you win a World Series by having the most 2023 Orioles. It's just very random that now adding Jorge Mateo into the mix. When the Orioles arrive in Tampa, you're going to be getting shot by your own gun, right? Like somebody stole your gun to shoot you. That's what it's going to feel like going down to Tampa this weekend. But the point that Rick was trying to make is relevant only in the context of this. If they fire Mike Elias, and I would still tell you that I don't think they will, but if you want to buy in, if that's how you want to read into David Rubenstein's comments from that event with Alex Rodriguez last week, is that you think that he's going to fire Mike Elias. If they fire Mike Elias, they're obviously going to fire Craig Abernathy too. Whether or not any of this is his fault, you're not going to hire a new general manager or president of baseball operations and say, but you're stuck with this guy as manager. You don't do it that way. That's insane.
Who should they hire as manager?
Well, I don't know who the GM
Brandon Hyde, maybe?
You know, he is on a team that it's really. Sometimes you look to teams like that and try to figure out like who
on the staff.
Yeah, who's a up and comer,
Right.
who's someone that might be a good hire. If they
that's what this team needs, a guy with experience, like we said last year. Yeah.
managerial experience, has succeeded as a manager, in fact.
Maybe a guy that's won the award.
Manager of the year,
yeah.
perhaps. But if you
John Harbaugh, I think is.
If you fire your GM, you're obviously going to move on from the manager too. You're saying the whole thing is broken. So your unique question really is only relevant to, is there a scenario where Mike Elias doesn't get fired, but he fires another manager? And that part of this is perplexing, because how are you allowing a GM, or again, president of baseball operations, the ability to have 3 managers and to blame it all on 2 different managers while not absorbing any of the blame himself? To me, I thought it was absurd the first time, and I said that then. Like, suggesting that what happened in 2025 was Brandon Hyde's fault instead of looking at the utter dereliction of duty from the front office in the offseason was wild. But I get it. That's how baseball works, right? That's really how sports work. Before the GM can get fired, you fire the manager. You hope to solve it that way. But you've had 2 of your own guys now. And neither one of them were able to make it work. How in the world do you allow them to hire a 3rd? Now, is there some nuance there where, ownership can step in and say, you want to keep your job? Fine. But here's what you're going to do. You're going to fire this guy, and you're not going to get to hire your manager. You're going to hire the guy that we believe should be the manager. Well, that sounds poisonous. That sounds like you don't want that.
Sounds like, like when NFL teams fire one and retain one, and then
it just
they're clearly a year away from firing the other one
100%.
anyway.
It's to me an utter disaster. But is it plausible? I don't know who that would be. David Rubenstein is off doing book events on trade deadline day. He doesn't seem like he's particularly involved. Is Mike Arrighetti more involved than we realize? And he would be the one that has a relationship.
He would manage the team.
Yeah, Ted Turner managed the Braves once upon a time. Like he's gonna. I think Jerry Colangelo once coached the Suns, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Like in a similar situation where I think it was like for
A Michigan man's gonna.
yeah. It might have been a little bit longer.
Yeah, Jim Palmer should manage the rest of the season.
It might have been Colangelo. Might have been more than a game because wasn't Ted Turner one game that he managed the Braves for?
I don't know.
Like in between, he fired a manager and didn't have another manager yet, so he just put the uniform on and went into the dugout. I feel like that was the story on Ted Turner managing the Braves.
1977, May 11th. Ted Turner managed his team for a single game during a 16-game losing streak.
Find out how long Jerry Colangelo coached the Suns, because I'm pretty sure it was more than a game. I'm pretty sure it might have been like the rest of the season or something like that.
Is this while you were down there? Or no,
it was definitely not while I was down there. No, this is not something that would have happened post like 1990. I'm trying to think if there are other examples. You should look that up.
He had 2 separate stints.
Colangelo did?
Yeah. What? Twice stepped in as the interim head coach of the Suns.
Okay.
During his tenure as general manager, compiling a combined coaching record of 59 and 60. So he was respectable.
He coached more than a season's worth of basketball.
Took over midseason in 1970 in January of the 1970 season after replacing the team's initial management coaching flow, guiding them to a 24-20 record down the stretch.
Look at that.
And the franchise's first ever playoff appearance.
Hey.
In the 1970 playoffs.
Maybe they should have kept him around.
Become the Bill Belichick.
Got to question the owner in that spot.
Basketball.
What are you doing firing the coach?
And then it looks like he must have coached the entire season in 72-73. Stepped in early in 72-73 on Halloween, replacing Butch Van Bredkekloff.
All right, we've gone way too far.
Butch Van Bredkekloff.
Look up to see if Ted Turner was the last one, the last example of a owner stepping in and and coaching the team. I can't imagine that it's happened since then. So, look, is there a possibility that Mike Arrighetti is more in what?
No, I want to see Mike Arrighetti or Rubenstein. Actually, what I want to see, is
put Rubenstein in a uniform.
Jim Palmer to go down there.
Well, I'm not opposed to that whatsoever. By all means, put him in a uniform.
Want to
get him.
Looks like the Nets president Rod Thorne. Okay, not the owner, but Nets president Rod Thorne briefly oversaw practices before the interim. Oh, so maybe they just the formal game-to-game coach. Okay, no. The assistants coach. He did not. He helped oversee practices.
So the last one was Turner?
Yeah. Owner, yeah.
Okay.
In 1990, the Minnesota North Stars GM, Bob Clark, briefly stepped in and stood behind the bench for the final regular season game. And they went to the playoffs. Oh, okay.
But somebody else coached them in the playoffs.
No. And he stayed in for the playoffs. Okay. Yeah, after their manager.
But not the owner. Again, there's a difference between
not
GM
the owner.
and
It was the GM, yeah.
You know, like GMs might have had some experience. It's plausible that at some point Mike Arrighetti says, "Look, you want to stay on as president of the baseball operations, GM, whatever you want to call it, by all means, you stick around. But we are going to hire someone." And I got to think about where Mike Arrighetti would have even come away with a connection. I'm trying to think of who's a veteran manager that's just out there looking for work right now or would be willing to work. And
Cora, but he would want control.
Yeah, he would definitely. But that in this scenario, it would be a scenario where Mike Arrighetti has made a relationship with someone, and he comes in and he says to Mike Elias, "You want to stick around? You can stick around. But here's how it's going to go. I've got my guy. He's going to be the manager. He's going to have control. He's going to be involved in the decisions that are made. You can keep the job, but it's going to be with this guy managing the team. You're not going to have any say in the hire. I'm telling you who the manager is, and I'm telling you he's also going to be involved in the decision. You do not get to unilaterally make decisions. If he's not on board with a decision that you make, you can't make it. Now, why would, if you're Mike Elias, given the fact that baseball operates where the front office has all of the say and the manager gets to go over and hang out at football practice on deadline day, if you're Mike Elias, you're probably going to say, nah, thanks, but no thanks. go ahead and find yourself a general manager who's willing to work under these conditions. But is it possible? I guess it would be possible. I just find it far-fetched. That's just not the way that baseball goes in 2026. Now, this could be everybody else is doing one thing. Maybe it's time for us to do a different thing. And I'm listening to that. I do think it's patently absurd that managers are being completely removed from the equation. Patently absurd. I just cannot believe we ever got to that point within this sport where that's the way that we're operating, that managers are not involved whatsoever. I frankly, I hate it. And as I said to a few people, part of the reason why I liked Craig Albarnaz I wasn't mad about it, is I want people to see how absurd this has become. I want people to be aware of just how ridiculous it is that a manager is so removed from this decision-making process that on deadline day, he could just go out and have a day with his family. That's what baseball has become. And it's effing insane. It's bonkers. It is bat-ass that as a sport, we've allowed it to get there. I hope that there are people within the Orioles that are bothered by that. Buck Showalter brought up the optics. I hope there are, ownership of the Orioles saw that and said, the hell? What? Why is he not here in a war room? What are we doing? Could you imagine if during I know the Patriots had to survive without Mike Vrabel this year, but could you imagine if during draft weekend of the NFL, they cut to a war room and they were like, oh, and Sean McVay would be there, but he's out at the Lakers game today. Could you imagine? We'd say, what the hell is happening in that organization? But in baseball, that's just the way it works. So I wasn't angry. To me, I want you to see how ridiculous it is that managers are not involved. I would like for that to change. So I don't know how we got here from the conversation I was having about Craig Albarnaz. I don't think there's a scenario by which...
Yeah, you want Craig Albarnaz to be promoted to GM.
No, I don't want him to be the GM. I don't think there's a scenario by which Craig Albarnaz is fired without Mike Elias being fired. I mean, I don't think that. I think at this point,
it seems counterintuitive.
They have to be tied at the hip at this point. I don't think either one of them can return without the other one. If you don't think that Mike Elias deserves to be fired, then why would you think that Craig Albarnaz deserves to be fired? Is this uniquely his fault? Do you think that this team, as constructed with another manager, would be markedly better? Because, by the way, the next manager is just going to be another Craig Albarnaz. That's what they hire now. If you think that this team would be markedly better if they had Buck Showalter as their manager, that's because you think Buck Showalter wouldn't stand for not being involved in the process. And I'm telling you, and Buck will tell you, based on his
wouldn't
Mets,
play players if they can't field a ground ball.
Yeah, but that's not how baseball works anymore. The way the baseball works is we're telling you this is what you're doing. So I was in favor before the season of changing that power structure, changing that power dynamic. You want to come back? All good. But we're doing things a different way. The Orioles don't appear to have done that. It sounded like there was an earthquake in the other room.
Xavier's getting angry. He wants Mike Elias gone.
Right? God, that got bleak for a second, this conversation. No, the point is, my response to Rick, I think that if one's back, the other is likely back. And if one's gone, I would think the other would be gone too. I think it's either we're at a place where we believe this is irreparably broken and needs to be fixed. And again, there's still time. I guess if they do somehow sneak into the playoffs, it's going to be hard to say it's irreparably broken.
They've got their next 10 games are against the Yankees and Rays.
I don't think they can. I'm with you. But until it's over, I can't say that, and that might be enough of an argument to say it's not irreparably broken. I think it's irreparably broken.
So that there should be a clean house.
That's
at the end
short
of this
of
season.
Something dramatically changing over the course of the next 6 to 7 weeks. That would be my opinion. My opinion would be this is broken, and you need brand new sets of eyes in order to fix it. I'll give you an example. ESPN before the season believed that the Orioles had 2 of the top 50 players in baseball. They just redid their list. They believe they have 0.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it was Gunnar and...
Yeah, Gunnar went from 13th in their list before the season to out of the top 50.
I think someone in this room might have picked him as their MVP as well.
That's irreparably broken. Now, they also had Pete Alonso 30th, and he's out of the top 50. And
he's still playing well. Yeah.
I'm not as down. But to me, the Gunnar part of it is part of why I think it's irreparably broken. That to me, that's what irreparably broken looks like. What right now gives you faith that it's going to be fixed next year?
Jordan Westbrook.
I got nothing. In fact, that would have been the argument for maybe they should have just said it's another rebuild is it looks irreparably broken. But to me, I would let another set of eyes. I would, if I don't like the opinion I got from a doctor, I might go to another doctor before I make that decision. I might, if one mechanic tells me something and I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's not $6,000 worth of damage here, then I would at least give another mechanic an opportunity to say, no, we could probably do this for $2,000. Before I utterly give up, I would maybe let someone else have a look at it and see what they can't do with it. So unless things dramatically change over the next 6 weeks, yes, that would be my opinion. That everyone would go. Do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. Right now, I would tell you I don't. But that would be my opinion, is that everyone's got to go, and there's got to be a whole brand new operation to see if they can't fix what you're kind of stuck with right now. Today's show brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. They're talking baseball every Monday. Stan, Ross Grimsley, and Luke Jackson. It's all brought to you by Warnken Law and the Costas Inn with 2 great locations in Dundalk and Timonium. When we come back, someone who they're hoping is going to help fix it moving forward, new pitching prospect Anthony Eyanson joins us next. It's Glenn Clark Radio.
Don't fumble your fantasy football draft. Host your party at Sports and Social Inside Live Casino. We've got everything you need to make the night a winner with massive screens, cool drinks, great food, and Wi-Fi that won't drop the ball. Reserve your table by August 20th to enter our early draft bonus drawing. Draft like a pro at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnkin. If you've been injured in a car or truck crash, you probably know this is stressful. Medical bills, the insurance company giving you the runaround, you got to get your car fixed. You don't just need a lawyer, you need results. At Warnkin LLC, we represent the injured across Maryland. Whether it's a car or truck crash case, medical malpractice, or any other serious personal injury, we fight for maximum compensation for you and maximum ease for you. You don't want to have to deal with this stuff. Warnkin LLC has been voted best personal injury law firm in Maryland for a reason. For us, 443 Results isn't just a phone number, it's our mission. Get the advocate that you need. Call us today, 443 Results, or visit us online, warnkinlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR as we continue along on a Thursday edition of the program. It's a pleasure now to welcome into the show for the first time us to have the opportunity to meet one of the top prospects in all of Major League Baseball. He was just acquired by the Orioles last week in the Adley Rutschman trade. He's with the Chesapeake Baysox currently. He is Anthony Eyanson, and he is with us here on GCR. Anthony, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to meet you, man. Thank you so much for taking a few minutes for us this morning.
Very nice to meet you as well. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anthony, I know it's been a whirlwind, right? I know you've already done media down there in Bowie this weekend, but can you just kind of take us through like what this feeling is like, everything that goes through your mind when you go? I'm sure it's shocking. I'm sure it's emotional, but how do you describe what these last 2 weeks have been like for you?
I've pretty much told everybody these last 2 weeks feel like a month within itself. It feels like so much has happened within, this short amount of time, but, obviously with the trade deadline and everything, you really have no idea, what everybody is thinking, that, is running this whole thing. And, it's really out of your control. But, when I found out, I've said before I had, mixed emotions. I didn't really know, really what to expect. But I was definitely excited for the new opportunities, just to be in a new environment again and just to, learn from, another organization.
Can you give me a sense of like what – I don't know who you talked to from the Orioles when you first got here, but like did they tell you anything about why they were so interested in you? Is there any part of it that like it does make you feel good to know that this organization like really wanted you – and to the point that they were willing to trade like Adley Rutschman in order to get you?
Yeah, no, it's very much a blessing for sure. And I don't want that to, be portrayed any other way. I'm very blessed for this opportunity. We just kind of discussed, what success has looked like for me, in pro ball this first year and, what they're thinking about to, help continue that for just the longevity of my career. And, I'm just very fortunate to be able to talk to, these guys and pick their brains about what's going to make me better.
I want to talk to you about where you're at in this process, right? Because again, this is a shock to the system. But how good did you feel? Obviously, your numbers were just unbelievable. How good have you felt about where you were before the trade, where you are now after the trade, as far as your progression and where you wanted to be along this path and getting towards the bigs?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good spot. Just keeping my intentions, clear and pure, and keeping those, set on, just developing each and every week, talking to the pitching directors and, everybody here that's, available for me. And, I don't really look into the stats at all. I just look into, what's able to be repeatable for me, and mentally just, how I can stay clear and stay focused on the game.
What were you happy if it's not the stats, because I would be thrilled about the stats, right? Like, they were unreal. If it's not the stats, what have you been happiest with?
Yeah, the stats are going to be what they are. I've been just most happy with, how I've gone about my work, the process, and, that's always going to be my intentions. The stats are going to be what they are. If I play good or if I play bad, I want to make sure that no matter what, I have good intentions, and, I'm giving it, perfect effort.
Anthony Eyanson is with us here on GCR. Anthony, a couple things I wanted to get to with you. One, the splitter, right? Because everybody I've talked to has said that came after you turned pro, that, like, for as high as everyone was on you, they didn't know that was going to be part of the repertoire until you got to the pro level. Can you tell us about where that came from? Where, when you're adding something like that, like, where the confidence comes from in order to be able to throw it the way that you have?
Yeah, so I've always had a splitter, honestly. I've had a splitter since high school. I actually developed a slider in college, which is kind of funny. So I threw a fastball, curveball, and splitter in high school. Slider was something that, I had to get a good medium between the curveball and the fastball, and that was my goal in college. And then as I got into pro ball, just, trying to have more repetition with the splitter alongside with the slider, just finding, good times to include that and good times to, throw that in counts. But, yeah, I've always had the splitter. I had the slider, and got a good amount of whiff on it, so I didn't really feel like I needed to throw the splitter that much. But in pro ball, I feel like it's definitely going to be something that's going to help me.
The velo on the fastball, I'm sure the other thing that you're sick of talking about at this point, right? Like the 100 in the breakout game, and everybody says, "Oh my God, look at this." I'm guessing now that might have been more of like a showcase, let's have some fun, and not necessarily where you wanted it to be. But can you take us through, because, what people have said is, I don't know, is he really going to be sitting 93, 95? Where do you want the fastball velocity to be? And what has the thought process been about how much you're digging into that as you're at the AA level before you get to the bigs?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously that was really cool to, hit 100 for the first time for me in that spring breakout game. Very fortunate to do that while staying healthy. I think my main goal and priority is to be healthy. I understand it's a very long season, and my body was obviously, in spring training, that's kind of when you're priming up and your body's not really under a lot of stress, I would say, compared to the long season. But for me, like, I want my fastball to be, mid-high 90s, with really good carry, and just to get on the hitters quickly. So I'm just going to continue to work, to be able to hold that. I know that's going to make me the best pitcher that I can be. But my main goal, honestly, is just to, maintain my health and understand that it's a long game, and I have a lot of time in my career to, throw hard.
I understand. I'm thinking that, like, this unique scenario. If we're talking about like the 2027 ALCS, and maybe say you're facing like the Red Sox, just like hypothetically, right?
Sure.
And it's like the 6th inning of Game 3, and the bullpen is ready, and there's 2 outs and like a 2-2 count. Could we maybe see like 100 again in that spot? Like, you're empty in the tank. Could that be a spot where maybe we see it in the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think in that game in general, every fastball that I throw is probably going to be as hard as I can, along with every other pitch for sure.
I respect that.
Yeah, just making sure I have good conviction and intent with pretty much, every pitch that I throw. I'm not trying to, hold back on any, for sure.
I guess the way that we should phrase this, it sounds like what you're saying is we shouldn't be concerned that the velocity hasn't always been at that high number this season, that has been more purposeful for you about what you're trying to do.
I mean, I guess you could say it like that. I mean, for me, I really just want to maintain my health. I understand that, obviously throwing hard is important, and velocity is important within pitching, but velocity is not pitching. And obviously I don't want you to understand, get under the impression that I don't care about throwing hard. I obviously do. I want to throw hard, but you have to be healthy. And if you're throwing hard, but you're not able to be healthy, it's not really, helping you.
I respect all of that. I completely respect all of that and appreciate the way you're saying it. Anthony Eyanson, I want to know about you, man. I want to get to know you a little bit. Your path, right, from California and starting in college out there to ending up at LSU. tell me a little bit about how you like fell in love with baseball, why you knew you wanted to be a pitcher, like when it became real for you. Can you just sort of give me a little bit of background on how you've gotten to this point in your life?
Yeah, it's actually funny. So, growing up my whole life, I grew up in a football family. I wanted to be in the NFL.
Wow.
I wanted to be a wide receiver in the NFL. That was my dream since a young age. I've always played football in the fall and baseball in the spring.
I did happen to see that your favorite, like athlete was Chad Johnson. I don't know how we feel about that in Baltimore. We had some battles over the years with Chad Johnson.
No, for sure. I just remember watching a Football Life. I'm not sure if you know that series, but
NFL Network.
Chad Johnson. That was honestly one of my favorite things that I've ever seen growing up. And I just loved everything about him. His mindset, his mentality, his confidence, and just the way like other teams felt playing him. Like they're like, man, we got to play Ocho Cinco again this week. That dude's crazy. So that's really where I fell in love with it. But yeah, growing up, I've always played football and baseball. I remember telling my dad all the time, I can't wait till I get to high school so I can just play outfield and I don't have to pitch anymore. And he would just laugh at me. He would just laugh at me, just understanding. He's like, man, you're going to be a pitcher one day. And I'm like, Dad, I want to play outfield.
It's so funny you say that because we were talking to Kyson this week, and he was like, dude, I wanted to be a shortstop. Like, I didn't want to pitch. I wanted to be a shortstop. Did you have to, like, teach yourself to love pitching? Like, was it one of those things where you're like, I do it because I'm good at it, but I don't really – did you have to teach yourself to love this skill that you had?
Yeah, so I would pitch a good amount. I was pretty good at it. I don't want to sound cocky or anything, but pretty good at it. But, it wasn't my favorite thing to do on the baseball field. High school came around. I was playing shortstop, center field, and pitching still. And I kind of realized, like, man, I'm pretty dominant on the mound. I might have to just suck it up and stay here and fall in love with it. And I ended up falling in love with it. So I'm very, very fortunate for that.
When did you know? Like when, your dad, you say your dad was kind of laughing like he knew. When did you know? And you say you recognize that you had the skill. When did it become real for you? Like, oh, I can do this at the highest level. I can do this and make my living doing it.
Yeah, I would say senior year, halfway through the season, I kind of looked at my stats one day and I was like, man, I'm kind of doing this thing. And I was like, why don't I just stick with it? I haven't really had a lot of, failure on the field. And, I'm just going to keep doing it until I get some. And, senior year followed out. I had a good performing senior year and got an offer from UC San Diego. I thought I was going to two-way there. But they were like, hey, we like you on the mound. We think you can have a, good future, on the mound pitching. And I kind of just trusted them and, it's just led me here.
You obviously end up going from UC San Diego to LSU. And I feel like this context is relevant because, there's a lot of people that are excited about you. And the easy question would be like, how do you handle the microscope? But like you did that already in college, obviously, pitching in like the biggest game of the year. Where does that big game mentality come from for you? How were you able to do that with the lights shining so bright in college? And how confident are you that carries over now as you've got this spotlight on you and a guy that's going to have a lot of attention paid to you in a new organization?
Yeah, I think it goes back to, the days where you're playing in the backyard. I try to keep things simple in my mind and very clear, and that's just the way I approach the game. I don't try to overcomplicate. At the end of the day, it's me against the guy in the box, and, all I'm doing is delivering a pitch, and at the end of the day, that's all I can do. So I try to just keep my mind on that. Literally, there's going to be, all these things outside of the field, but at the end of the day, when you step on the mound, all that matters is, you delivering that pitch and executing. So that's just pretty much how I keep a clear mindset.
I appreciate that, man. And obviously it paid off for you during that run to the national championship. Anthony, the important part is how well do you know Ben McDonald? I feel like he's the governor down there, right? Like, did you get to chat with him much when you were down there? Have you had a conversation with him since the trade?
Yeah, so we've had a couple amount of conversations, at LSU. Obviously, he would be around commentating the games and just being around the clubhouse. So we've definitely had some conversations. I have not talked to him since the trade. Obviously he's got his thing going on. I got mine, but I definitely feel like we'll cross paths pretty soon here.
You were not teammates with Blake Money at LSU, correct?
No, sir, I was not.
Okay, yeah, he was. I thought he was a little bit before you, but that is kind of cool. The two of you being back around each other, a couple LSU guys.
Yes, sir.
The other part of this, I think that we're all fascinated by, Anthony, right? Like, how confident do you feel? It's funny because I think a lot of people looked at your progression and said, well, he might still be a little ways away, but I've talked to a lot of scouts who have said, I think this kid might be ready, like, quick. How ready do you feel like you are? I know you haven't gotten to the AAA level, but a lot of guys never go to the AAA level when they have this type of skill set. Do you feel like you could be ready to do this at the big league level maybe by as soon as next year?
Yes, sir, definitely. That's my goal. Obviously that's my job. That's what I'm here to do. My job here is to get people out, and it'd be crazy for me to say no, I'm not ready. I keep a good focus on, every day I think about, getting that call, making my debut. It's on my mind all the time, and that's the motivation at the end of the day. Mentally, I just think about, what can I do now to help me in Game 7 of the World Series if I was pitching. And, every day I try to, get better and have a sharper mentality and sharper mindset, because I understand that is a separator for me.
Man, that sounds great to us, man. You can't answer that question any better. That's really great. Anthony, tell us one thing about you, one thing we should know away from baseball, like when you guys have a Monday off, or when you get home at the end of the year, what's something that you're into? What's something that you like to do that's not baseball related?
Yeah, that's a good question. Man, I love amusement parks. I love roller coasters.
Cool. Oh man, it's such a bummer. There used to be a Six Flags literally right across the street from the stadium in Bowie.
That's what I heard.
Oh, that's what I heard. What's your favorite? Like, what's your all-time favorite roller coaster?
I'm California biased. I would have to say Twisted Colossus out of Six Flags.
Okay.
And Valencia, that one's great. But I talk to all my friends and everything, my family. I tell them like all the time, I would definitely travel around the country just to go on different coasters.
Oh, that's cool, man. We'll get you up to like Hershey Park or something. Yeah, right. Like that's a problem.
I need it.
Griffin and I, my kid, we'll take you whenever you got a day. You tell us, we'll take you to Hershey Park. That's a promise on us, man.
Perfect.
Like,
I appreciate that.
Dude, I'm 43 years old and I still get excited about getting on roller coasters. I can't lie about that, man. I still get excited. The Baysox are away this week, but they'll be back home next Tuesday night to open up a series against Richmond. A lot of great events next week, including Woof Wednesday, when you can bring your dog to the ballpark, which is always awesome. Next weekend, fireworks night, back to school night, mother-son night out, all going on with the Baysox next weekend, so you want to make sure you're down there to check them out. Anthony, what socials can we plug for you? Where can Orioles fans be giving you a follow?
Yeah, I have Instagram. That's the main one for me. Instagram, it's just my name, Anthony Eyanson. I try to keep, try to post a good amount, pretty much my whole life, baseball, my faith, family, everything like that.
That's awesome, man. And it helps that it's Anthony Eyanson. You didn't have to like fight 20 people in order to get the handle.
Absolutely.
It's a benefit. Anthony, it's great to meet you, man. I'm sure everybody here is really fired up about you and excited to have you here. Let us know when you're ready to take that trip up to Hershey Park. We'll make it happen. Looking forward to talking to you more as you continue along this path. Thank you for spending time with us today.
Thank you very much. I'll make sure I have one of those Mondays cleared for that.
We'll do it. Park. Done, dude. Done. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Anthony Eyanson, the Chesapeake Baysox. Appreciate him taking the time for us. We'll do the fast passes. We'll do the whole thing, right? 100%, man. That's no joke. Dude, how fun would that be? How much fun would that be? I don't care if people think I'm. I always say like the most.
We get like the whole team up there.
I mean, they want. I can't pay for all the tickets.
Well, okay,
yeah, right.
Well, maybe we can figure something.
I was
out
offering that I would. I'm not ready to do that for all 25 guys. Griffin's getting into my wallet right now. I don't know if you heard.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
Got to pay for a pig and got a lot going on at the moment. But dude, I've always said like the area where I am most white trash is I still love going to amusement parks. Like I am a mark. When my kids are like,
it's a white trash thing, amusement parks.
Look around. I mean, like. Maybe it's more. Maybe I'm being too maybe it's broader than that. But like sometimes when I'm there, I'm just like, oh, oh.
I guess I don't look around when I'm there. I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah, correct. You're just there for your experience,
yeah.
and I appreciate that about you. I appreciate that you can just zone out and just have fun. I am too.
I'm like, all right, Sky Rush, Great Bear, just go to every single one.
I tell you, my kids, I get emotional talking about like the first time I rode the Super Duper Looper. Like, you don't understand. It was, at that time in our lives, it was a miracle.
Yeah.
It went upside down.
I always think about the Comet because I didn't want to get on it. My parents
it's the
forced me to get
rickety.
on Comet.
It's so rickety. You're going to, and now I'm 43, so I'm going to seriously be in pain when I get off the Comet at Hershey Park. Oh, man. Now I want to go to Hershey Park. That's all I can think about. We might just go even if Anthony can't go. We might just go take the day. Today's show continues. It is a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. Today's show is also brought to you by the print issue of Pressbox. Last couple of days for this print issue with Kevin Brown on the cover. Go get it at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores, any of the hundreds of locations around town where you find Pressbox. And you can read it all for free as well at PressBoxOnline.com. But again, just a couple of days remaining. Next week, a new print issue of Pressbox hits newsstands with a football theme. I guess we can, well, I don't know if I can. I didn't get the approval to tell everybody. Normally I do that. I'm just running a little bit behind. But yeah, next week, brand new print issue of Pressbox will be available, and it is football related. That's all I'll tell you for now, but you'll be able to get that starting next week for free at your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. This weekend, there's a chance for a local team to claim a championship. And maybe more importantly, they could stake their claim as the first ever champions of a full season WLL as the Maryland Charm up in Philadelphia will take on the California Palms in the WLL Championship game this Saturday at 5 o'clock. Joining us now, she is Maryland through and through. She a Terp, she a Charm, she is Grace Griffin, and she is with us now here on GCR. Grace, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you. Thank you so much for taking the time for us.
Yeah, hi Glenn. Happy to be joining you.
Let me just start with this, right? Because like you are inherently Maryland, right? Like you are you are from here. You're a Baltimore kid. You're a Terp. Now you're with the Charm. What does this? Can you describe what this means to you to be playing with Maryland still on your jersey and now competing for a championship in a women's pro lacrosse league? Playing for Maryland, how do you put all of that into words?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty surreal. Like you said, I grew up in Maryland, played at Maryland, and now I still get to represent Maryland professionally. So it's really hard to imagine like a better full circle experience. And when you say it and you put it all together and I look back at my entire lacrosse journey, it's really, really cool. And the fact that this is the first ever championship as well, it really would just be cool to continue to represent my home state and bring back a championship.
How, like, that part of this, I think, is so significant to me. This, you know, even when you were at Maryland, you didn't know this was going to be possible. Like, you had no idea this was happening. What is it meant to you for there to be a WLL? And I know that this is still the infancy, right? Like, we're still looking for it to grow and be even bigger. But what is it meant for you for there to be a WLL, for you to have the opportunity to play? I know there have been other leagues, and you know, the Athletes Unlimited thing was cool, but for to be able to do it this way with the crowds that you've been able to play in front of this season, what has that part of this meant to you?
Yeah, it's been really, really cool. And the WLL has been supporting us along with the PLL and really helping us put out such a great product. And the fans and everywhere we've traveled, it's been such an amazing experience. And like you said, like when I was growing up, playing professional women's lacrosse wasn't even an option or a thing or something that I could even imagine, right? At that time, playing D1 was like the coolest thing and best thing you could do. And then after that, playing for the U.S. national team. So really just being able to be part of this journey, like you said, with AU and playing at Maryland, and now we're here. And it's one of those things where you really have to take a step back and realize how much has grown and really this progression that we're on, just women's professional sports in general. So being a part of it, it's really, really special. And I really just hope that we're able to give the next generation something to aspire to.
The pride of Sykesville, Grace Griffin, is with us here on GCR. Grace, I guess the difficulty of a season like this is it's sort of like start, stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not playing every week. What was that like for you all to have to be able to pick up and like get that chemistry back quickly? How were you all able to do that given the circumstances of this first pro season?
Yeah, it's been a really unique experience, but it's been great nonetheless. And I really think it does kind of just show just us as players how you need to be able to adapt on and off the field, and you're training on your own, what it really means, and how important it is. Those early mornings where I've gone out to the field solo, too many times to count to get reps in. It almost makes you want it more, that we've all been collectively working on this together, but also on our own, and knowing that we're willing to sacrifice and the things we're willing to do to grow as a team. And then chemistry-wise, our coaches have been amazing, and all these girls are so talented, learning from girls that are younger than me, older than me. And then it also helps that we have a couple Terps on the team, so that chemistry is already there.
A little bit of built in, right? Like I was actually, I thought that might be a big part of the story too, that was the way that it worked. The other thing that jumps out at me is like when you guys play, the nature of there only being so many teams, this is literally the best players in the world that you're going up against every week. Like there is every time you line up against someone, I just look at these, I'm like, holy smokes. Like every roster is utterly loaded. That part of it, like how cool it is just to be around such an insane amount of talent as the season has gone on.
Yeah. Like you said, you're playing with and against some of the best players in the entire world. So every possession matters. Every matchup matters. The level of talent in the league is really, really special. And I think that's what helps obviously make such a good product and what makes the game so fast and physical and exciting. And I think people that haven't watched women's lacrosse in a while, if they turn on the game Saturday, they're going to be a little bit surprised by how fast and exciting the game is. Like you said, multiple Schwarten winners out there, many U.S. national team players, past and present.
Right.
It really is. You have to show up and you can't get caught on your heels.
Well, and let's go a step beyond that, right? Like just how the game has evolved, right? And I've, from calling games the national team to what I do with Loyola is I think that people that maybe haven't watched the women's game, and first of all, what are you doing? It's insane how good it is. But like I would go a step further, like if you're used to like everything is right in front of cage, I don't know that like I've seen a sport evolve so quickly, and the shots that I'm seeing you guys take now. I'm just, where does this come from? Even for you in a short amount of time, like I got to imagine the evolution has been pretty quick from like high school to this point of how much the game has changed.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think it's a combination of many things. When I look back at my freshman year at Maryland, my first year in college, that was the first year where we had free movement. So to think that before then we had to, we were playing freeze tag. When the whistle blew, we had to stop.
Oh my God.
That was crazy to think that was even a thing. So I think just with the rules evolving, obviously us female athletes were training harder. And I think the equipment is a really big part of it too. Like our sticks now versus 10 years ago, the things that we're able to do and the shots we're able to create. And then I just think the creativity overall of these players, it's so impressive of the things that we've been able to learn and adjust and learn from others. It's really, really fun and fast. And then finally, I think on top of that, the WLL, the rules that they've put in place, they've kind of found that sweet spot of still being women's lacrosse, not fully going obviously into like the men's total vert style, but the adjustments of timing that, we play only to the half-yard line. There's no restraining line. And just like the arc in general, there's not shooting space. Like all of that, I think also really helps with the speed and viewership of the game.
It's insane. All right. You know a thing or two about winning championships, obviously. Got the chance to do it at Maryland. What would this mean to you? Got to get the first part of it. Like winning a championship is cool no matter what. But to go down in history as the first ever champions of the WLL, how significant would that be, even given everything you've already accomplished in your life, Grace?
Yeah, no, it would mean everything. You only get one opportunity to win the first championship in a league. So we really want to take that and make the most of it. And I think we would just be so proud, not just because we won, but because we helped put women's professional lacrosse on the map. So it's really something no one can ever take away from you. And one other fun thing I did here was, or remembered, that the PLL, their first ever championship, the Whip Snakes won, which is our men's team in Philly. So it really would just be kind of kismet if, on the women's side, we took care of business.
Very full circle. Almost feels like it's written in the stars that it needs to happen. That's the way it feels. What's it going to take, right? Like, I'm sure. I was actually thinking that, like, you guys, your group text has to be insane given how little time you actually get to spend together. But, like, as you guys have been talking about it this week, what has been the focus for getting ready for California?
Yeah, we had a team Zoom last night. Group chat's always active. We're just excited, and our team really believes in each other, and I think that shows when we play in each of our different roles on the field. Our focus is really on ourselves, but the Palms, they do play a fast, dynamic game, and the last time we played them was all the way back in May, and we know that as a team we've grown and adjusted a lot. So we really just want to be competitive, gritty, and just ride the waves of the game. There's going to be highs and lows. We know it's going to be a tight game, so making sure that we just stay steady and stick to our game plan.
It sounds from your lips to God's ears, right? Like, everything about that sounds really good to me. Grace, the pride, we talk about how everything has changed, right? And what could still be coming. What has your, like, excitement level been about what's next, right? Like, obviously winning the championship is what matters now. But what has your excitement level been for the conversations that you've had with everybody involved with the PLL and WLL, and the ability for this to grow, and, like, potentially there to be maybe in the next few years, like, a Maryland Charm home stadium so that you could be playing more home games in front of your family and friends. Like, how much have you thought about those things and what could be next?
Yes, it's super exciting to think about. Honestly, I love thinking about it, but sometimes I have to bring myself back down to where my feet are.
Yeah, deal with what's in front of you. I get that. I do understand.
But 100%, I feel like everyone in the WLL feels like this first season was such a success, and we're so excited to see how this weekend pans out. So just knowing that, fans have shown up, viewership has been there, social media has been amazing, and connecting with fans on there has been amazing. So I think it really is exciting to see where this can go. And obviously the PLO is kind of a helpful roadmap for us to see what lies ahead and where we can go with that. And those guys are super talented, and they work really hard and put on a product every single weekend in the summer. So in my mind, I see that coming next. And then outside the professional game, it's super exciting for the Olympics coming up as well for sixes. So just being able to continue to play and be in competitive lacrosse arena is going to help so much with the Olympics as well.
It's a special time. It's a really special time right now. Did I see on Instagram that you're also, like, getting married soon?
Yes, I am.
Dude, how could life be better for you right now? My gosh. Could you that combination of potentially winning a championship right into your wedding? Like, geez, they got to make a movie about that.
It'll be a lot to celebrate, but I know cool. It is actually crazy. I was just thinking today, then this will be my last time putting on a jersey with Griffin on the back.
Wow.
So,
yeah. So you got to that's so important. You have to make that jersey a champion before it doesn't exist any longer. Like, that part.
Exactly.
Really important.
Yeah. Add to the pressure. Why not?
I'm gonna tell everybody to follow you, Grace M. Griffin, on Instagram. I guess I should ask, is the Instagram handle going to stay the same?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm keeping Griffin as my middle name.
Okay.
Grace Griffin.
That's what my wife did. My wife did the same thing when we got married. She said, I'm making my last name my middle name moving forward. And so I think that's like is that just like the new thing now for everybody to do?
I think so. I think it depends on how connected you are to it. I love the GG. So we want to keep that in there.
The alliteration is perfect. You're not wrong about that. Give her a follow there. And again, Saturday, that is. First of all, a great excuse to get up to Philadelphia and be there to support the Charm, But if you can't, for whatever reason, make it up, then you can make sure you are tuned in for the the WL. This is the problem with the two of you traveling together, is I'm going to keep doing this forever. The WLL Championship game, 5 o'clock on ESPN, linear ESPN, for the championship game on Saturday as the Charm take on the Palms. Grace, congratulations on everything. Go get them on Saturday. Thank you for taking time for us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, go Charm.
It's Grace Griffin, the pride of Sykesville and a former Terp, and now looking to win the WL Championship with the Charm on Saturday. Again, 5 o'clock on ESPN. And I say Philadelphia. I guess it's technically right outside of Philadelphia. It's the soccer stadium, right? It's in Chester is where you find the home of the Philadelphia Union, I believe is the soccer team. That would be the Philly team,
yeah.
They always do I think they do Army Navy soccer there too. It's a cool kind of hub for various events, but that's the stop for the PLL and WLL every summer, and that's where they are playing the championship game, the first ever championship game for the WLL. So a very cool opportunity for the Charm to win the title on Saturday. We'll come back in. We'll get a tidbit, tubular, and wind things down for a Thursday edition of Glenn Clark Radio.
This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
Don't fumble your fantasy football draft. Host your party at Sports and Social Inside Live Casino. We've got everything you need to make the night a winner, with massive screens, cool drinks, great food, and Wi-Fi that won't drop the ball. Reserve your table by August 20th to enter our early draft bonus drawing. Draft like a pro at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Pressbox is available now. On the cover, Dave LaMonaco profiles Orioles play-by-play voice Kevin Brown, looking at his rise as an amiable mainstay and one of the top voices in all of baseball. Also inside, Antonio Barbera looks at whether the championship window is narrowing for the Ravens veteran core, and our special travel section with a look at sports tourism options throughout Maryland for you and your family to enjoy this summer. Pressbox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy. when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, back in here on GCR. We're still awaiting the end of Ravens practice today. Rashad Bateman returned to practice, according to everybody who's there. So that's good. But yesterday, Marlon Humphrey also left practice early. This is after the Nate Wiggins thing. And because, Jesse Minter wasn't available after practice yesterday, there was no update definitively about Marlon Humphrey. Now, you would think that if it was significant, one of the national reporters would have been kind of on it the way that we saw, like Ian Rappaport, chime in about Nate Wiggins. So I feel like it's encouraging that we haven't heard anything noteworthy from any of the national folks related to Marlon Humphrey leaving practice yesterday. That makes me think that it's just not significant enough that anything needed to be said. But, whenever anybody leaves practice early, you kind of like to just
know.
Yeah, it's like the guarantee fairy, right? Like you just want there to be something waiting underneath your pillow. You can get a good look at your butcher's ass by sticking your head up there, but it's got to be your bull. That's what everybody always says. This was definitely a movie that we made you watch.
I know.
Okay, all right. Yeah. The way you stared.
I got it. Yeah.
The way it was a very empty.
I thought you were
stare.
rolling. I thought you were rolling.
It was just a very empty. I would have appreciated something back.
I gave you a little
something
smirk.
at all.
I gave
back.
a little smirk.
Anything at all back.
A smirk.
I did not see a smirk. I think we're gonna have to go back and watch the tape. I think we're gonna have to go
Okay,
back
I'll go.
and watch the tape. No, I don't need that. I don't need patronizing.
Stick your head up the butcher's ass. Tommy boy. Oh.
I don't need patronizing.
That's a good one.
I just could use anything other than dead. Blank
good callback.
stares
Good callback.
that make me think that you have no idea what it is that I'm saying. That's all I'm asking for. Anything. Any acknowledgement whatsoever. Just a little something.
Yeah, you want to stick your head up the butcher's ass? No.
Thank you. Thank you. Andrew Stetka says, Griffin was thinking too much.
What do you... No-sell the Tommy Boy reference.
To no-sell the Tommy Boy reference.
Yeah,
you said if you have to think too much, then he's out. We've already acknowledged that about Griffin this week. If there's too much thinking involved, done.
I'm gonna delete that TikTok.
You said
delete
it.
All that.
You said I'm not smart enough. That wasn't me.
Yeah, but it was taken out of context.
Yeah, that was.
You were purposely trying to confuse me.
I also appreciate the fact that Andrew acknowledges the no sell too. That you're trying to. You're not only no selling me.
I see him watching.
You're
he
then
never watches.
You're then gaslighting me on top of it. Like I didn't no sell it. What are you talking about? You totally no sold it.
I was giving it a smirk.
Zero.
I was also trying to see if there happened to be updates yet. I was the other thing. I was trying to see if there was.
I'd already
any
checked.
in live time.
I'd already checked for those.
Well,
but
maybe 12:22 a new one would have popped up.
That's the moment. So, yes, we are still waiting some sort of word from Jesse Minter about Marlon Humphrey. But as I said, I do think the fact that no one has said anything is probably encouraging, that it's not significant, remains to be seen definitively. And does he have any further word? Like, have they learned more in the last couple of days about Nate Wiggins, that there can be a more definitive timetable for him? And whether or not that would involve saying missing time. Because, again, the preseason probably not going to be a lot of Nate Wiggins anyway, but, like, is there something between? Again, I think we're all confident that it's not, like, season ending for Nate Wiggins. But there's a big difference between season ending and back tomorrow. Where is it between those two things? Where is it between those two things? And, yes, Andrew, you're right. There is also the, like, how much do you believe? But to be fair, Jesse Minter said that Zay Flowers was day-to-day.
And he goes back the next
and he nailed
day
that one,
2 days?
right?
Yeah.
And I've said before, when it's not related to a game, I do think that coaches are more capable of being honest. If like, say, Nate Wiggins, they don't, they might miss some time, like it might linger into the regular season, then I do think that the answer is going to be more, there's going to be some more conjuring involved with that answer. The answer will be something along the lines of, yeah, Nate's going to be out for a little bit. We don't know exactly. Like, I think you're going to get something more along those lines from Jesse Minter if it involves actually missing, like, real time. When it's training camp or the preseason, I think it's easier to say he's going to be back very quickly. That's where you're at. A couple of things that I had on the list. I know it's funny because as we were talking about over the course of the summer, all the receivers the Ravens could have brought in, and even with Steve Weiss yesterday, he's still like, yeah, I'd probably bring in Keenan Allen too, right? Like, and I maintain that. I am still interested in the Ravens bringing in Keenan Allen. I have been the entire time. That was the guy I wanted. I am still very interested in Keenan Allen being a Baltimore Raven. And for those of you that try to make it an either-or proposition, well, but that's because you don't believe in these young guys, or at some point the Ravens have to give these young guys a chance. Great. I'm all for the Ravens giving young receivers opportunities. But, I'd like to win a Super Bowl. And there's a big difference between this idea that you can only do one or the other. Well, you either have to give young guys no. I want to do both. I both want young guys to have chances, but also to improve my odds of winning. A few of you, when we've had this conversation, have brought up the name Darren Waller. Rita brought it up, I guess, last week when we were doing...
He just signed.
Yeah, that was why I brought this up, Griffin. That was the point I was leading into. Darren Waller's not available anymore.
Well, we're just... Okay.
Thank you.
Maybe they should sign Debo.
Not available.
What?
Yeah, you're not going to believe that. Off the market. So is Stephon Diggs. I don't know if you heard.
I thought Diggs. I thought that's why we talked about him yesterday.
Yeah. I literally thought it was last week when we did the show with Rita that she brought up Darren Waller's name. Darren Waller is back in the NFL. He's going to be a Carolina Panther.
If there's one thing, and when I'm at the end of my career, there's one thing I want: Bryce Young throwing me.
Yeah, right. It's very
the football.
It is odd to me, but I mean, I guess
wants to play.
He wants to play, and that's where the offer was. I'm in a weird spot with this because I have thought there would be more opportunity in the wide receiver room than there would be in the tight end room. Like, the Ravens, by numbers, have 4 tight ends. I don't think they're going to be able to put 4 tight ends on the roster. I get it that they're not really going to use a fullback this year, so maybe that's the roster spot that can go to a tight end. So maybe they can keep all 4 tight ends, but they have 2 veterans and 2 draft picks. If all stay healthy, it would seem difficult to have room to have added another tight end. But, like, you heard Kadri's normally an optimist, right? Like, he's normally, he's high on Tyler Loop, for example, and I don't know what there is to be high about, when it comes to Tyler Loop. Maybe if we took that sentence in a different way, get high because of Tyler Loop, I don't know. But I don't know why you would be high on Tyler Loop. What has he done that leads you that way? And yet, Kadri, when he brought up the tight ends, it's like, dude, none of these guys, none of them have had a good training camp. And he said, including Mark Andrews. Now, I'm not all that worried about Mark Andrews. I think there's a more global concern about Mark Andrews, right? Like, he is coming off a down season, but Mark Andrews is a vet. His training camp is not going to concern me all that much. I think we know what Mark Andrews is. I think Lamar Jackson is going to be comfortable throwing the ball to Mark Andrews. When the games are the biggest and the lights shine the brightest, those concerns that have always existed with Mark Andrews, sure. But I'm not petrified that, like, Mark Andrews can't play football any longer. It is interesting to me that I think we've assumed that both of these tight ends were going to get roster spots, but if, like, they're not ready, that's a bit more concerning because it just adds to this confusion that we've had about the pass-catching department on the whole. I'm not saying that Darren Waller would have fixed any of that or that it was worth saying we can't have a certain tight end on the roster to get Darren Waller at this point in his career, but more and more veterans that are coming off the market. And this thing where everybody always said, well, if one of these guys gets hurt, then I'd like to sign someone. That's not the way this works. Those guys are going to be employed for the most part. So, yes, thankfully, they've avoided like a serious injury with Zay Flowers and a serious injury with Rashad Bateman, who are both back at practice. But if one of those guys were to get hurt before the preseason ends, the 2 biggest, and Diggs and Samuel, are already off the market. It's possible Keenan Allen could come off the market at any moment.
Jordan Tyson just got hurt at Saints practice, so
we don't know,
I mean, sure.
We don't know any of the details about that yet. But to me, I can't wait, because if you wait, that's how you end up with, your receiver room looking like Kamara Aiken, Chris Givens, Chris Matthews, Jeremy Butler. Because that's what's available when you wait. I would have done something before then.
Kamara Aiken was a 1,000-yard receiver.
Thank you. Appreciate
Or nearly.
that.
Did he reach? Yeah, he reached.
I think he got to 1,000. I think so. I don't know that definitively, but I think so. Marlon Brown was part of that group too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you wait. That's what you get. That's what's available. And again, maybe Jacoby Lane is the greatest thing that ever happened to wide receivers.
944 yards. Yeah.
I did, by the way, after we played the game yesterday, I did do a fantasy mock draft last night.
Yeah. There's a guy I missed that you thought like.
Oh no. I gotta think about that.
Yeah.
I did see Chris Rodriguez went off the board at one point during my fantasy mock draft. I was like, but it was interesting when I got to the 16th round, the last round of the draft. I was looking at who they thought the top players were available on the board, and 5th was Jacoby Lane. It's interesting how Buzz
these reports
has moved him up these boards a little bit. Maybe Jacoby Lane will prove to be that guy. I hope. I pray he is. Of course, it's, Jacoby Lane could be the one that gets hurt before training camp ends too. That's the reality of these circumstances. So I'm not wavering from this. I have been interested all summer in the Ravens bringing in Keenan Allen. I remain interested in the Ravens bringing in Keenan Allen, and I think it's kind of crazy how they are just going to be this bullish about a very unproven group of pass catchers. I hope they're right. I pray they're right if they don't bring, and I don't even know who else they were. I think at this point, to me, it's Keenan Allen or bust, as Darren Waller was the only of the tight ends that I was really all that interested in, and that was still mild to me. He was behind the 3 receivers. I feel like there's. Oh, did you see the Jaden Daniels story?
Yeah, I did. I didn't read the full thing
yet. Jaden Daniels is threatening to sue LSU.
And again, if you watched quarterback, this would probably be his mom threatening.
Yeah, you were very down on Jaden Daniels' mom after watching quarterback. Jaden Daniels, who I've liked and was great when he was a guest on this show. Jaden Daniels is not happy that LSU gave out the number 5 this year. And I don't know enough about the history. Have other Heisman winners essentially had their numbers retired or taken out of commission for? I would just need to know a little bit more about that.
Well, yeah, apparently Burrow's number 9 hasn't been given out yet.
Then
I don't think they've retired it, but
then you know what? I think Jaden Daniels has the right to be mad. Now, as a bunch of people have pointed out on social media, does he have any actual right to sue? He doesn't own the number 5. That's just a
Joe
number.
Flacco. Oh.
Thank you. That's a great point. But there is maybe a conversation to be had about how much does a school or should a school have the right to profit off of a former player without that play? I don't know all the details to this. And if they're selling Jaden Daniels branded things, what is that agreement? What does that look like? And can he say this is fascinating to me. I know the guy that always talks about these things. What's that guy? Is it Darren Heitner? Is that his name? Who's the legal expert? Hang on a second.
How should DJ Pickett feel about all this?
I mean,
just kind of catching strays. And...
For what it's worth, I would be very uncomfortable, knowing I was wearing a number last worn by someone without at least having Did I think that maybe I should? Can I get his number? Can I call him? Can I ask him?
Right.
That. If that history exists, that LSU has typically said, you win a Heisman Trophy, nobody's wearing your jersey for a little while.
Until yeah.
If I'm a player and I ask for the number and they're like, well, that was Jaden's number, I would at least want to say, hey, can I call him? Can you try to arrange a Zoom for me to talk about it? I mean, that's a very significant player in LSU football history. I do find it kind of, I don't know. Apparently, there's an agreement. This Darren Heitner explains. apparently that you get like 108 as part of the NIL agreement. They get 180 days post expiration period. So that feels like it's actually a more global conversation. So like you're still allowed for another 180 days after your deal with the school runs up for them to keep selling your name, image, likeness. But then after that 180 days, then frankly, if there's no agreement, then he probably does have legal ground here to say, obviously this is retaliation. Obviously he's pissed off about the number, but there's probably a bigger conversation to be had about schools profiting and continuing to profit off a player that they are no longer in an NIL agreement with. Clearly, when Jaden Daniels was there, he was being paid by the school, right? Like, that's how they got him there. But if that agreement has run up, he probably does have a lot of legal ground to say, dude, you can't just keep selling my stuff without me getting paid. Even if he wasn't pissed off, he probably has some legal ground. Being pissed off is maybe a good reason to say, hey, we got an issue here. You don't just get to profit off me while you're disrespecting me. Should he be this mad about it? I don't know. Probably not, but again, to the point, if you're not letting anybody wear a Burrows jersey, it does seem kind of effed up that you're letting them wear Jaden Daniels' number. How what am I missing there? Am I missing something?
I guess not. Yeah, I mean nothing. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, Joe Burrow won a national championship.
Is that if that's what they say is it's not about the Heisman. It's just about did you win a championship or not. If you win a championship,
so should they retire all 80 of those guys that were on that team?
No, I mean, but if you want to say it's the quarterback,
the Heisman, and
if you win a Heisman
combo.
and a championship, then we take your number out of commission for a little while. But I would want to get ahead of that. I would make sure you explain that to him when he left, because on the surface, we both won the Heisman. You're not letting anybody wear his number, but you're letting them wear my number. Jaden Daniels, it feels like he should have bigger fish to fry, right?
Yeah, like he's coming off that. The Commanders had a bad season.
He's getting dunked on Twitter for caring about this, and I get it, right? Like you want to go become Jaden Daniels again, but at the same time, I don't know. If I won you a Heisman Trophy, I could sort of see why I wouldn't be thrilled about you giving out my number when you're protecting other Heisman Trophy winners' numbers. That's a fascinating.
I want to let Malik Washington know.
Yeah, when he wins the Heisman
after
Trophy,
he wins the Heisman this year.
Yep, 100%. Nobody's wearing the number.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, bad news yesterday.
I know. God, that really sucks.
Well, pretty big gut punch for a team that they don't have a lot of margin for error.
No.
Zahir Mathis, who was incredible last year, and it was a major coup for Maryland to be able to keep him around, unfortunately is going to be out for the season. Now, I guess if I was trying to be encouraging, if there's a part of the team where Maryland does have a lot, it's
the edge rush.
It's the DN edge rush, but they're now asking a lot of Zion Ely as a freshman. Sidney Stewart obviously still very much in that mix, but boy, that looked like it could be one of the better units, maybe even in the conference, potentially, if Zion Ely lives up to
because it already was last year.
Yes. But that's a huge blow, just a massive blow for a team that really cannot afford to be suffering those types of blows before they even play a game. Zahir Mathis out for the year for Maryland. That is killer. And then the only other thing I had is I guess the Browns are going to start Deshaun Watson in the first preseason game. And people are trying to figure out, does that mean...
He said Shador gets the second game, I think.
Yeah, but does that mean that Deshaun Watson has a leg up? I bet, Jeff Ehrman was the first to report that. Thank you. Jeff Ehrman, the first to report Zahir Mathis and Inside MD Sports being out for the year. Yeah, does that mean that Deshaun Watson is currently a nose ahead in the competition over Shador Sanders?
Well, did you see when he was... Todd Monken said he was going at it with some reporter. He wasn't
my God!
Going at it, but
what was the line the other day?
He said, "You can't trap me with that S."
No, there was a better line.
Oh, they had a better line?
Hang on a second.
You could just watch Todd Monken clips all day.
Yeah, Todd Monken's good at this. He's definitely good at this. You're not wrong about it. But there was a better... Oh, come on, man. I got to find it. Todd Monken said The end of Monday's practice was awful, shitty football. To which I retweeted and said, the Browns are in midseason form. Man, are you kidding me? How many teams are already in midseason form on August? This was on August 11th. Come on, man. That's got to be incredibly encouraging if you're a Browns fan. You are already playing Cleveland Browns football.
I don't know if that's necessarily
in
the
early
goal,
August. I don't know.
Well, what did he say? It was shitty.
He said it was awful, shitty football.
Okay.
To which every Browns fan has said, man, this feels like a warm blanket. Like, I know this feeling. This feels so comfortable. It's like putting on an old sweater. That first crisp day in the fall.
Probably rather a different feeling.
You put on that sweater that just, you're like, this feels, I know this. I know this feeling. This feels
What
good.
did he say the next day? Did they have a solid practice?
I don't know. I don't
a solid?
I have not followed along.
A really great practice.
Let's get a tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by, we'll make this one brought to you by our friends at County Sports Zone, where everything you need to know about high school football is we are just right around the corner from games starting in high school football season. You'll be able to find all of the information at countysports.zone. It's proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com.
Obviously, we just saw Josh Bell again. He is
still pitching to Josh Bell.
He's on that long list of Orioles killers, of course. He has a career OPS of 998 against the Orioles.
I'm going to say that's not even in like the top 10.
That's correct.
Yeah.
He is 12th.
That's
since 2017.
Oh, since 2017.
Yep, since 2017.
Oh, come on. That's asking a
when
lot.
he came into the league, or he came into the league in 16, but he faced the Orioles for the first time in 17. So since 2017, with players with at least 100 at bats, there are 11 that have OPS'd over 1,000 against the Orioles.
Mookie Betts.
Nope. He would have been. I guess he would have played a little bit, but.
I mean, you said 2017, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean there would have been a lot
played,
of Mookie Betts in there.
Okay, yeah, you're right. He played 2 seasons.
Still
in the. He has a 937 OPS.
So I was pretty close.
Well, I mean, he's kind of bad against the Orioles when you think about it.
In comparison,
worse
is
than
what you're
Josh
saying?
Bell.
Aaron Judge.
256 at bats for Mookie Betts. Yeah, Aaron Judge is number 1.
Is he?
1.216.
You know who used to kill the Orioles, but I think it is too far back, as Gleibar Torres?
He did, yeah. I think. I think it was just that season.
Was it
bolstered? He's still top 20, top 25, 929 OPS, but not over 1,000.
Dude, he killed.
Longer.
God, he murdered.
I mean, the 2019
Orioles.
season. He had, I think, because I wanted to look it up to see how much it pulls. It was like a 1.52 or something. OPS, 13 home runs in 2019 against the Orioles. 13 home runs against one team. That's a good season.
It's insane. I mean, it's just utterly insane. Giancarlo Stanton?
No.
He's just always hurt.
Yeah. That'd be interesting if he doesn't even have the at-bats.
This is the difficult part, right? Is like you immediately assume, but since 2017, I guess you don't have to be in the AL East. Like you just have to be playing. So it really could be anyone.
Like there's one, like there's an NL East guy on here. There's an AL Central guy, AL West.
Jose Ramirez.
1030, 7th on the list.
So there's an NL West.
There is.
Is
an
it
NL
Shohei?
West. Or sorry, AL West.
AL
no,
West.
not Shohei.
Okay.
Shohei is good though.
Is he?
922 against.
Breaking news. Could that be Randy Arozarena?
No, it is not Randy Arozarena. But yeah, he does also. Not in the top 25 for
Wow.
me.
So who could it be in the AL West? Is it an Astro?
No.
Is it Seager?
No.
Is it a Ranger?
No.
Is it Julio Rodriguez?
Not Julio.
Is it Cal Raleigh?
Not Cal Raleigh.
Who stinks?
Right.
What the hell happened to him?
I don't know. He must have changed.
You think the
his swing or
gunner?
something?
You think the gunner fall off is something? Holy hell!
Yeah, where was Cal
man.
Raleigh in that top 100 preseason?
That's a
list?
That's a great question. Cal Raleigh. I got the top 100. Cal Raleigh was 7th.
Wow. I mean, now he's the 700th.
I mean, it's insane.
He still has. I guess has he even reached like 15 homers yet? I mean, he was obviously he missed like He missed like a month and a half, maybe.
Yeah. So is it a Mariner?
There is a guy who spent time on the Mariners. So there's 2 guys.
You
on this
said there's
list.
a guy in the AOS currently.
Yes.
Is the guy in the AOS currently a Mariner?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
That's
no, he's not.
Jesus Christ.
I'm saying one of the other guys. There's another guy on this
who
list
was a
who
Mariner.
spent some time on the Mariners. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're asking too much.
All right. So
You're asking.
you want to focus on one guy here.
That's what I was trying to do. So is
not
it
a Mariner?
Is it an Angel?
Yes.
Is it Neto?
No.
God.
Probably doesn't have 100 at bats yet.
He's got to have. Maybe not 100. You might be right about that. There's an Angel who's not Neto who's killed the Orioles. That requires. Oh, Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
Yeah. What do we do?
Over 1,000. 160 at bats against
And he
the Orioles.
definitely has killed.
Another guy who's in the top 25 here, C.J. Crone.
Was in the preseason top. Yeah.
Against the Orioles.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But
okay.
like an Angel.
You
so
said there
it's
was an NL East. I'm never getting to 11. What the hell is this? You said there's an NL East guy.
Yep.
Is it somebody who's been in the NL East the whole time?
Yeah, he's been for 2 different teams, but
2 different teams in the.
Most of this period has been with.
Is it a current Philly?
Yes.
That's because it's not Schwarber.
It's not Schwarber.
Harper.
Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
It's 4th best OPS against the Orioles with at least 100 at bats. 1,074.
All right. So those are all the guys in other divisions?
No, there's more.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You just told me there was an AL Central, an AL West, and an NL East.
Well, that was just like the ones
Lord.
the ones that were sticking out. Only 12 homers on the year for Cal Raleigh.
God damn.
Cal Raleigh is OPSing 570 after hitting.
That's insane.
60 home runs and driving
That
in
is
125
unreal.
runs last year.
All right.
2 guys no longer in baseball.
2 guys no longer in baseball. I don't know if that helps. Jackie Bradley.
No, not Jackie Bradley. He is one of them. Was a Red Sox.
One of them was a Red Sox. No longer.
Majority of his time was with the Red Sox,
and it started in 2017, so that's post Ortiz.
Mm-hmm.
That would be. God. Did I guess Vlad, by the way?
You did not guess Vlad. Vlad is just behind Josh Bell, 986. Sucks against the Orioles.
How about
he's got the second most at bats against the Orioles in this period. Like Aaron Judge is first, and then Vlad, and they kill the Orioles.
Man, this is harder than I thought it was going to be. Why am I not thinking about?
Spent time as a Tiger.
Spent time as a Tiger. Was a
not necessarily in this time period though. I don't think he might have gone back late in his career. I don't think he did.
Spent time as
D-back.
a Tiger. As a D-back.
But did most of his damage against the Orioles as a Red Sox.
Most of his damage against the Orioles as the Red Sox. Is that Freeze? No, he was never a. Who the hell is
you
that?
thinking like Story? Maybe it's not Story.
Played for the Tigers. It's not Brock Holt.
Mm-mm.
Why am I struggling so much? Oh, is this JD Martinez?
JD Martinez. There
Damn.
you go. He's number 2 on the list.
Damn, that was brutal.
330 at bats, a 150. 1.150 OPS against the Orioles.
All right.
Another guy who kills the Orioles, and it was a Red Sox. I don't think he's currently a Red Sox.
You don't think?
Right. Like these are where the random guys come in. Like he's one of those random guys.
Oh, good.
Like,
Oh,
you
good.
should know some of these random guys. Like you should just.
I was gonna say Bogarts, but
no, not Bogarts.
Devers.
Not Devers.
Sandoval.
No. Sandoval, like Pablo? Who?
Yeah.
No, not since 2017.
Yeah, I guess that math does it?
This guy was. I mean, he's played for every. Wow, he's played for every AL East team except for the Orioles.
He's played for every AL East team except for the Orioles.
Yep, he was a Ray in 18. Then he spent the last 4 seasons with the Red Sox.
Ray in 18.
But not with the Red Sox this season. He's having a terrible year with Seattle.
He's in Seattle having a terrible year.
But he spent the last 4 seasons with Boston, was pretty respectable as a platoon bat.
My God.
One of those guys that just mashes lefties. And the Orioles.
And the Orioles. I don't even know.
I feel like every time we watch this guy
We're
in
just
the lineup with the Red Sox, he
ourselves,
hit one over the monster. It felt like
is it
time.
Randall Grichuk?
Not. He's on the list.
Oh, is he?
Yes, that's not who I was getting to.
When you just said that just made me think of Randall Grichuk.
Randall Grichuk has a better OPS than Jose Ramirez and Mike Trout and Josh.
Where
Bell.
is Randall Grichuk? Oh, he's in Chicago.
I don't know where the hell Randall Grichuk is.
He's still playing, right?
Wherever he is, he's thinking about the next time he's facing the Orioles. Chicago. He spent like a month with New York with the Yankees. And
He's on
yeah,
the list.
now he's on
So
the. Yes.
I did get something there. It also made me think that because we talked to him earlier this year, is Pilar on this list?
No, he's not.
But he
Pilar,
definitely killed.
He did. Yeah, 974 OPS against the.
All right, I knew I was right about that. Better. Who is having a bad year for Seattle besides Cal Raleigh?
Don't think about the Seattle part. Think about it. Red Sox last 4 seasons beating the crap out of the Orioles.
I don't know why that's not doing anything.
It hits
for
lefties.
Me.
Why
am I not
feel like
getting
we did
there
see
over
him?
there?
Well, when the Orioles went out to Seattle, I feel like he did play because they probably knew that he beats the Orioles. He's batting 140 this season with Seattle. Yeah. But he's got a 1.144 OPS against the Orioles.
Wait, is it Refsnyder?
Rob Refsnyder.
I don't think I realized he was with. This is straight shoot. I don't think I realized.
That's why I was trying to not think about that.
No, I don't know that I realized he spent 4 seasons in Boston either.
Well, it felt like he only played. He barely played for him, but he played every time he faced the Orioles.
Wow.
And he had the 3rd best OPS behind Aaron Judge.
You still want me to get 4 more dudes?
There's a guy who spent time with the Twins. He's not with the Twins this year. Another Twin kills the Orioles. Kraut.
Who?
The Kraut.
Kraut. Oh, Kepler.
Max Kepler.
Yeah.
Max Kepler has the 5th best OPS against the Orioles.
I don't think it's really
in
funny.
this window.
Until this week, I don't think I realized Max Kepler wasn't a Twin. Like we could have done who he played for with baseball, and if you would have said Max Kepler, I would have been like, he's a Twin.
He hasn't been a Twin since 2024. He was with Philly last year, and this year he is not really.
He's
much
not.
for Arizona.
It's just over, right, for Max Kepler.
Until he faces the Orioles.
100%.
They can make a whole lineup of random, borderline baseball players, and they could go 162-0 against the Orioles. 2 left here. A catcher, I believe he's on the Reds this year, but he spent a lot of time in New York.
Tyler Stevenson.
No, it's not Tyler Stevenson. He was a Red this year and last year. I think you probably
was in New York.
Yep.
Trevino?
Jose Trevino.
I had no idea he was a Red.
OPSing over
'Cause I'm like,
1,000.
Austin Wells is still there. That's why everybody was so mad that.
Or you're thinking Austin Wins?
Yeah.
Or
the catcher in New York. Wells.
Oh, Wells. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
Well, Austin Wins is also a former Orioles. Austin W., but he's in Cincinnati.
Yes. Wait, Austin
Wins.
No, Austin Wins is in Texas.
He was in Cincinnati at one point.
But he literally just faced the Orioles last weekend.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He played on Saturday.
Good for him. Trevino, former Oriole on this list. Oh, there were 2 NL East guys. There's another NL East guy.
Jesus Christ.
Former Oriole, no longer in baseball.
Former Oriole, no longer in baseball. He
spent some time with the Twins.
It's not Steve Pierce.
No.
Former Oriole.
Seattle, Minnesota. Played half a season in Tampa, half a season in Washington, and then his final season, 2023, with the Padres.
Former Oriole.
Played like a third of the season. But yeah, big, 1 year in Baltimore, but everyone remembers it.
1 year in Baltimore that everybody remembers. Nelson Cruz?
Nelson Cruz. Still since 2017.
I don't remember him playing with the Padres at all.
He barely. He had 5 homers in 40 games, so barely. And then the last guy with 1,000 OPS against the Orioles in the last 9 seasons. NL East. Currently NL East. Spent a little bit of time in the AL West before that.
Spent some time in the AL West before coming to the NL East. Is it a Brave?
Yes.
Is it a Matt?
Yeah. What other Matts are there?
That's why I said it that way. I hear he's good. I didn't realize he had this many at-bats against the Orioles, though. It's Matt Olson, you're saying?
Yes, it is. Matt Olson. 1.004 against the Orioles in 121 at-bats.
Quite the group. I mean, to be fair, most of them are good baseball players.
Well, I mean, you got Kepler, Gerchik, Refsnyder.
Yeah, I get it. There's a few in there.
Trevino.
I think Grichuk, on the whole, has been a good baseball player. I think you're being...
I don't think he has.
I think that Randall
he's made a
Grichuk's
career for himself, for sure.
I think he's been I think he's better than Refsnyder. I think he's better than...
Oh, sorry. That's his career numbers. He's 221 home runs.
Yeah, I think you're.
But his career on base is 298.
All right, now I'm surprised by that. I would have expected for him to have had a 300-plus career on base percentage.
Who else? Who was the other one that you're saying Ref Snyder didn't have? Probably doesn't have a good. You think? I don't think Ref Snyder has had a.
I think Ref Snyder.
What's
his career? We're gonna find out. He's a career.
Yeah, there we only 37 homers in his career.
Hang on, Grichuk is still a career 764 OPS guy.
He made a career for himself. Yeah,
he's a major leaguer.
But for him to have
a guy
an OPS of like 1,050
I hear
against one team.
Okay, so Judge is understandable. J-Rom's understandable. Trout, Harper, JD Martinez.
Nelson Cruz, Matt
Olson,
Harper.
Then you have 4 guys in there that you'd look at and be like, all right.
And Josh Bell. You throw Josh Bell into that.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, very good. I don't know what we just did there.
That's the Orioles killers.
Let's get tubular.
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
All right. By the way, we do have updates.
Other random guys who OPS over 900. Austin Meadows, 971 OPS.
Okay.
Didi Gregorius,
Austin
964.
Meadows isn't garbage.
They're all these are all baseball players, but it's like they face the Orioles and they're Barry Bonds,
Didi Gregorius.
Yeah,
for a minute, Didi Gregorius was a baseball player.
He was, Gio Urshela. CJ Cron, as I mentioned. Gleyber Torres kind of fits that.
Gleyber Torres.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Oh, God, I forgot he existed.
Yeah.
I think he just made him and his brother the same player at some point in my life.
We make the minimum. I want to change the minimum here to like 50 at bats. See if we get any random.
There's like a completely just a guy that we don't even know. We're like, who is that guy? You got anything?
It's loading. There's not too many tabs open here.
All right, never mind. Updates from Jesse Minter. He says, according to Jeff Zrebeck, that both Nate Wiggins and Marlon Humphrey are trending well to return to practice at some point next week. So he's being far more specific than, we have been used to when it comes to injury questions. But as I just said, I do think for coaches in general, you get that more during when there's no opponent that is hearing this. It is easier to say things. If either one of them were going to linger into the regular season, I don't think he would give you a specific update about it. I just think coaches have an opponent paranoia that exists for them. We're going to do everything in our power to not give them information. And you say back, right, but it's really about the bettors and the gamblers. And they say, we don't give a rat's ass. And then the NFL has to come in and say, but we do. But that for coaches inherently, they don't want to give any information to an opponent that they don't have to. It's just in their blood. So when they could be back at practice next week, you're not telling anybody anything. Who are they playing next week? The Vikings? The Vikings aren't game planning. That's not something that you have to worry about. So it's just easier for any coach to do that. Also apparently said that Vega Ioane will play on Saturday, which is to be expected. I mean, maybe like,
can they have the broadcast highlight him for every play that he's in? So I can,
just make it the Venga watch.
Yeah. We have one camera.
By the way, are you coming next Saturday? Are you coming to the party?
I think so.
Is this gonna be awkward for you?
Why?
Because there's gonna be a game on at the same time. They're playing in the afternoon. On Saturday. Yeah, you're bailing. You gotta be home, dude.
Just as long as no one's giving me updates.
Who's the guy they just signed? Oh, I gotta watch Austin Reed. I gotta see that guy play, man.
Jacoby Lane.
All right, here's what's coming up totally tubular-wise.
Mike Talkman, 1.1 OPS against the Orioles.
I definitely.
69 at-bats. Matt Holliday, a 1.090.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Brandon Belt over 1,000.
Right now,
Josh Willingham.
The Norfolk Tides are
Hunter Dozier.
on Masson. By the way, I went to after the Loyola game last night, I went to the gym, and the elliptical I was on had Masson on. I guess somebody on it was watching the Orioles game earlier in the day. And
they're replaying it, or?
No, they had the Tides game on. The Tides were down 5-4 in the bottom of the 10th, won it in walk-off fashion.
Ooh.
Or maybe it was 4-3. Whatever it was, they won. I was.
Baby Birds are learning
how
to win.
I don't remember who it was. It was not someone of relevance that got the. I don't remember. Was it Reese Hines? Maybe.
Yes, it was Reese. Or he maybe hit like a 3-run homer to bring them close. Was that it? Maybe. Or did he hit the walk-off? I do remember seeing Rhys Hines hit.
I think it's
something.
less relevant than Rhys Hines. I think whoever had the walk-off hit, I was like, who is that? I don't remember. You can check on that. But, yeah, they're playing again on Masson this afternoon.
Rhys Hines walks it off.
It was Rhys Hines.
Yep.
All right, never mind. I take it back.
2-run double in the bottom of the 10th.
Yep, that was the story. I was watching that on the elliptical.
Look at that. Diehard Norfolk Tides fan.
You know me. The Field of Dreams game is tonight at 7:30 on Netflix between the Phillies and Twins. Griffin said, I'm out.
I'm twinsed out.
Can't watch the Twins anymore. Don't care if it's Kevin Costner. Apparently, Orioles fans are mad because Jeremy Guthrie is out. I don't know why, but Jeremy Guthrie is out at the Field of Dreams.
Why are we mad?
And because he J.P. Morosi put a video up of him playing catch with Jeremy Guthrie, and Jeremy Guthrie is wearing an Orioles uniform in this video.
Hold on.
And Arditi and some other Orioles fans are like, "Why aren't maybe you should wear a Royals uniform?" People are still mad about this stupid T-shirt. He played for the Royals at that point. The Orioles got rid of him. What are you mad about? This is like the people that are still mad that the Orioles wouldn't sign Mike Messina, and so he went to the Yankees. Like, what? Seek help. Seek help. Mike Messina is the greatest pitcher that an entire generation of Orioles fans ever had the privilege of seeing. God, Jeremy Guthrie, during a time where there weren't a lot of respectable Orioles, was an incredibly respectable Oriole. They got rid of him.
He looks good.
And so he wore a shirt that was about the Royals. And and I believe this, knowing Jeremy Guthrie, as he said, he wasn't even aware of these hoes ain't loyal. He wasn't even aware of it. I don't know if you know, he's a deeply religious Mormon. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all that he wasn't aware of it. I will never not love Jeremy Guthrie, and I think it's great that he's out there wearing an Orioles uniform. I think that's very cool, and you guys need to seek help. So worried about these things. Anyway, Field of Dreams game tonight. Phillies and Twins, 7:30 on Netflix. Everything else, GlennClarkRadio.com.
What about the other stuff?
Oh, the non-sports?
No,
Yeah.
no.
What? Oh,
There's the
your
other
preseason
sports.
football.
Yeah.
That's
what everyone's watching
that's what
tonight.
Griffin's going to watch tonight. The Packers and the Steelers.
Oh, that's a good one. That's
Get that
a
on NFL
long
Network.
time. 2 historic franchises.
That's true. They are historic franchises. What's up non-sports-wise?
I know you're excited. But Camp Rock 3 out on Disney Channel.
Hell
Later
yeah,
Disney
brother.
Plus.
Hell yeah.
Camp
But
Rock
will I be
3.
able to understand the plot having not watched
I don't know. That's what I'm
first?
worried about either because I think the Jonas Brothers are coming back. And Demi
Oh,
Lovato.
the
I
Joe
don't know.
Bros are back in
I
it?
think. I don't know.
You
I don't
saw
wanna
the
be
Joe
wrong.
Bros are doing the halftime show of the Melbourne game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I do like that one.
Oh,
Joe.
Tire Season 3. I guess that's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
big.
with Stavi obviously is part of that,
Mhm.
and Gillis of course, and
And there's a Travis Barker doc on Hulu as well.
I might be interested in that.
Louder Than Fear.
I'm not. I'm more Blink-182 than I am Travis Barker. Like all the Travis Barker like celebrity stuff doesn't really do much for me, but I do remember seeing him drum legitimately with like a. I went to a Lil Wayne show with my buddy Jay Trucker when Jay was doing music reviews for The Sun. I remember Jay calling me and be like, "Hey man, I got to review the Lil Wayne show. Can you go with me?" And I was like, "Sure." And he was like, "I need you to tell me what the names of the songs are." And I was like, "All right, I can do that," because I was all in on Lil Wayne. And like the opening acts were so random. It was like Wale, and I was of course all in on Wale. Yeah, and Orioles fans still mad about that. Get a hold of yourself. My God, he wasn't with the Orioles. They got rid of him. They didn't want him anymore. What do you want him to do? Be like, actually, secretly, I like the Orioles more than the team that's paying me. Get the F out of here. You are deranged. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyway, but one of the opening acts of that show was just Travis Barker drumming. Like, legitimately,
the Lil
like,
Wayne show?
like drumming with the
What?
DJ. It was straight shoot. I wish I could find it, because I want to say, like, when Nicki Minaj, I know a lot of people have different feelings about her at this point. I definitely think Nicki Minaj, something called Porcelain Black. I mean, it was like a very random.
Travis Barker, Lil Wayne, and Nicki Minaj. Really?
Yeah, at the Baltimore Arena. Maybe Wale was not that show. Wale might have opened for Jay-Z when I went to see Jay-Z at the arena.
Wale would make the most sense of all those three.
You know who my date was for the Jay-Z show at the arena? I bet if I gave you...
Rick Ross was there?
Oh, yeah, Rick Ross was there.
March 21st, 2011.
Dude, it was great. It was a great night, man. It was an awesome show. Everything about it.
From Eric Mazza.
And it was weirder because Nicki Minaj didn't really open for Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne started his set, and then at one point, like, they did a couple songs together, and then he disappeared. She did, like, 4 or 5 songs, and he came back out. It was a great, great show. I really enjoyed it. But if I give you somebody in our orbit, I give you 5 guesses. Someone in that is at least tangentially related to this show. That was my date to the Lil Wayne show to the Jay-Z show at the arena.
Someone in our
orbit.
And date that could be so like
we weren't
Jeremy...
romantically involved, no, but like we did go together to the show.
Chell.
It was not Ryan Chell. It was not Jeremy Kahn. Who's my
Drew?
Date? Drew Forrester. Drew Forrester was my date to see Jay-Z at the arena. Go figure, man.
Was Drew into it?
Oh my God, he was so into it. I think it was his idea to go.
Oh,
he was like,
Jay-Z.
He was like, dude, Jay-Z's coming to the arena. I was like, yeah, tickets are gonna be expensive. He's like, I don't care, we're going. I'm like, all right, very good.
I'm trying to get into this article about I guess it doesn't matter.
Is it what Jay Trucker wrote? For the Sun?
No, it's Eric Mazza.
Jay Trucker definitely reviewed the Lil Wayne show for the Sun, and I was definitely his date. I was not his date, but I was there to be his. I was helping him with his review of the show by telling him what the names of the. Like every now and then I'll hear from Jay and he'll be like, dude, I still think I can smell the weed from that night. It was like overwhelming.
Maybe you did contribute to this article. I don't know. Contributor Jay. Oh, it was. Yeah, it was. This is Jay.
That's what I thought.
Okay, I don't know why it says Eric Mazza is on the byline.
You can thank Glenn Clark for that review happening because otherwise he would not have known the songs. Jay's not. He's not like anti-hip hop. He was just not a big. Jay's more of like a rock guy. And he was assigned that one by the Sun. And so he was like, I'm going to need some help with this. And so I went with him. All right. Very good. Thanks today to Grace Griffin. Thanks also to Anthony Eyanson. We'll get those up in the greatest hits section of the...
I bet we go either 2 for 2 with you here or 0 for 2. I bet.
Okay, one way or the other. All right.
Adam Scott and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Absolutely.
On Fallon. Okay.
Yeah, have I told you my Sebastian Maniscalco story?
Maybe, I guess.
He was on this like package tour in 2006. It was a bunch of young comedians.
So I'm just going to be looking up articles about of all the different events he went to in the 2000s.
Came to the Tempe Improv, and this is at a time where we were bringing anybody who came to the Tempe Improv, they came in studio with us when we were in Phoenix. And we ended up getting, just plastered. Like we went out and got hammered, and he ended up sleeping on the couch at my buddy Chad's apartment, and we all were like we were strewn about in this apartment, which was a 1-bedroom apartment, and we were all just bodies everywhere. And Sebastian Maniscalco, who turned out to be one of the most famous comedians on the planet, was legitimately just hammered drunk, sleeping on the couch.
Pretty cool.
I can't remember the name of the tour. I can't remember who else was on it because I remember at least one of the other guys we partied with, but Sebastian Maniscalco will forever be like among A-listers. I've got a Sebastian Maniscalco tour.
Congratulations.
But yeah, Adam Scott, of course. Yes.
So then for sure, 100%. I know on Kimmel he'll have Dave Franco and Jaylen Brown.
No.
Maybe that's what it was. I couldn't remember. I guess I couldn't remember if you either loved or hated Maniscalco. I guess that was maybe that was.
I'm not like, it's not even like I'm a massive Maniscalco fan as much as like he's fine and he was a great guy. He couldn't have been a cooler guy.
Dave Franco and Jaylen Brown.
So cool. Yeah, nothing.
The newest Philadelphia. Well, I guess not.
What?
The
Yeah,
newest Philadelphia Sixers.
Nope.
not even the second or third
being
famous.
A sit-down guest on a late-night talk show. Is that who's hosting Kimmel this week?
Anthony Anderson.
Is he from Philly? That's the only reason I could think that like that would be a sit-down guest that you would have on the Kimmel show. Like, in what world is Jaylen Brown that?
Anthony Anderson is born in Compton.
Okay, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. Why?
Basketball fan.
Dave Franco's fine. I'm not anti-Dave Franco.
Basketball fan. That's why.
No, I'm good on that one. All right. Are they doing another Jump Street? If they're doing another Jump Street, then I'm back in.
They might,
because the Jump Street movies were excellent.
What is Dave
top notch films? The Jump Street movies. Anything that Lord and Miller do really is top notch in general. How do those guys never miss? Those guys never. You go look at their run. It's insane. Those two dudes never missed. I would give them all the monies. You want to make a movie? Give them all the monies in the world. Human Money is his Dan House.
Apparently, there's a new movie. No, I don't think I've seen the trailer yet. It's called Idiots, starring Dave Franco and Peter Dinklage. It's comedy, obviously.
It does sound promising.
Yeah.
It does sound promising. I'll think about it. All right, we got to go. Tab at glennclarkradio.com. Baseball show tomorrow?
Yes.
I'll be with you on WBAL. Basically, I'm going to do so many WBAL shows over the course of the next few days. I'm on 6 straight days. But tomorrow, I'm in for Brian on the morning show. Saturday, I'm doing Sportsline from 11 to 2. And Sunday, I'm in 7 to 10 a.m. Monday, I think I'm actually doing the afternoon show. So I do think I won't do 4 BAL shows before I do another show here. I'll do 3 BAL shows before I do another show.
So is this breaking up? Is that what this is?
No, I'll be back. I'll be here on Monday. I will be here. And then I'm in for Angelette Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week in the afternoon. It's a whole... Shout out to the Orioles, by the way, for moving Monday's game up to 6 o'clock. So that means I get off at 5 o'clock.
Oh, it's up to 6 p.m.
6
It was, what,
It was 6:40, yeah.
Okay.
So
why not just make it a getaway day?
It infuriates me. That's a night game. And I know how the team feels about it. Oh, I had a conversation with someone related
the
to
second
the
time
team.
they've had this season.
It is the second time. And the first time...
They got swept by the Yankees, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, it's true. They were not very quiet about their feelings about it. Ooh, boy. There are a lot of people related to the team. I'll tell you that off the air.
And they got traded. Those ones that...
That's true. They're all gone now. All right. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners. Oh, the Bat Around Sunday night, too. Make sure you're checking those guys out. Live Casino and Hotel, the Baltimore Orioles, Costas Inn, Leading Edge Auto Body. Warnken Law, your Baltimore area Highs Dairy Stores, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, Cruise Maryland, countysports.zone, the Maryland Department of Health, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Birds the rest of the weekend. Go nobody tonight. Duke sucks.